All right, B, I got a question for you. I'm gonna
Yes,
try
sir.
and make this like super easy. So, we were actually trying to find some questions to ask you today, and we were going through the comments on your YouTube channel, and there's a lot of women on there that watch your show and not only watch it but are like applying everything that you talk about, and they're bettering themselves like in all kinds of different ways. And there's some really awesome stories.
Shout out to the ladies. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And so, but a lot of different qualities that they had, like as far as like, you know, being a boss, being a leader, being, you know, just kind of type A, like that alpha kind of chick. These are things that a lot of guys would qualify as masculine. So I'm curious on what your take is as far as these girls that are, or these ladies, excuse me, that are killing it in life.
Yeah.
How do they find their masculine, the guy that's more masculine than they are?
Sure.
So then they can, you know,
Sure.
have a happy life.
And you know, the conversation before the mics went hot and the camera started rolling was really about, man, in the comments section, a lot of these women are like, yay, I love what you just taught. I'm going to apply it to my life. And then they come back and they go, yay, I applied it and it's working and I appreciate it, da, da, da. And then the guys, not all guys, but some of the guys leaving comments like, oh man, my life sucks. Yeah, I've tried that before. It didn't work for me. Or I don't know if I'm going to try that. This isn't, like, guys are just being little bitches in the comment section, right? Let's face it. That's what the conversation was about. And
Right.
why is it that the women are just fucking like taking the advice that I'm sharing and coming back to the comment section saying, this is fucking helping me. Thank you so much. And most of the guys are like bitching about it, right? Well, it's simple. I'm going to tell you why. Because there has been an active demoralization of men over the last 15 years. Over the last 4 years, since right around the pandemic, that attack on men and masculinity has literally 10x'd. 10x'd. So it's not that women are like walking around in their masculine energy, because as I said earlier before the mics went hot, women are fucking resilient, man. Like, my grandma would milk goats and fucking cows in the freezing cold. I would see it in Armenia. And both the goats and the cows can hit you with their head, can hit you with their hind leg. She was prepared for that. She would carry buckets of fruit up a long set of like brick and concrete made uneven steps to the top of the house, all while my grandpa was doing his shit. He had a pocket knife and he would whittle wood and then like wedge it into the fence. I remember like he like wedge it into the post of the fence to make sure that you know, fence is stronger. Again, all in the cold. And I was like bundled up and just watching them do this shit in Armenia. Women are very resilient. Like, to be able to have a baby, experience all that pain and discomfort, and then, you know, a year or two goes by and you're like, you know what, I'm ready to have another baby. Like, women can tolerate pain. Women are strong mentally, physically, emotionally, and women know how to get after it. Listen, I stopped taking all of those and I started taking this, the Trulian Wellness Shot. In fact, I created this because I was sick and tired of every morning taking 11 different supplements like turmeric, ginger, cayenne pepper, black pepper, vitamin B12, echinacea, vitamin C, zinc, right? Think about this. If you want to improve your immune system, if you want to fight off inflammation in your body so that you have better gut health, you have more energy, your joints don't hurt, then you're going to want to take all those supplements. And I was taking it twice a day, every day. And so when we created the Trulian Wellness Shot, we cut no corners and we spared no expense. And so in this, you've got something that's going to not only help boost your immune system, but also fight off inflammation. Because if you're a high performer and if you want to get more done, if you want to stay more focused, if you want to make sure that you don't get sick as frequently, then you have to care about your immune system and you have to fight off inflammation, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you're high performing and you have a stressful work day from time to time, right? And so here's what I want you to do. You're going to click on the link in the description box or go to trulean.com and you're going to use the code word Bedros. And when you use my name, Bedros, you'll get 50% off your first subscribe and save bundle. For whatever reason you don't like the Trulian Wellness Shot, which I've yet to meet anyone who doesn't, then let us know in your first 30 days. We'll give you a full refund. Part ways as friends. Fair enough? Go check it out. Use the code word Bedros. Get 50% off. Peace. There used to be a time where men were physically stronger, where men were mentally more tough, where men knew how to go to battle. And so on the charts, men were naturally more masculine. After 15 years of men allowing themselves to be feminized and for them to erode their masculinity, now women haven't changed. It's just men's masculinity has gone down so low, their desire to get after it, to be ambitious, to be goal-focused, to be oriented on success, to have an internal locus of control instead of blaming everyone else and every external locus of control, which is your fault, is Biden's fault, is Trump's fault. No, motherfucker, it's your fault for you're broke, that you're addicted, that you're playing all these video games. Like men, there's been an active attack on men, and we've had episodes on this. So why is there an active attack on men? Because the fastest way to erode America is to take the able-bodied men who would stand up against the opposition, big government, and mentally, physically, emotionally demoralize them until they're whiny little bitches, right? And feel like they're just not getting a fair shake at life. And life's not fair for them. And that someone did this to them. They're victims. Well, great. So what they did is they took their masculinity, brought it down below the masculinity level of, or just like the natural resiliency of a woman. And so like, man, these women are really fucking masculine. Well, now women are like, well, you guys used to do all this shit as men. Now you don't. So now I'm having to do it. So as a woman, I would start having some kind of resentment towards the guys who are in my life. If there's a dude in my life and I'm a woman and I'm doing stuff that he should be doing because he's just being a bitch. This is like you go into the gym, you'll see women out squatting men today. Like you will see women out squatting men. How the fuck is a chick out squatting a dude when a dude has more testosterone than this chick does? Because she is more consistent, she's more disciplined, she is more focused, she shows up more, she's willing to endure more pain. Men used to have all of that 10x what women did. Men were 10 times more focused, 10 times more consistent, 10 times stronger, 10 times willing to endure pain, 10 times more resilient than women. That's it. But men have allowed themselves to erode in their capacities so much that they've gotten below a woman's capacity for strength and endurance and resilience, et cetera. And so they're like, man, these women are very masculine. And then the women are like, where's the fucking men at? So how do these women find men like this? Good luck, ladies. I don't know. But in reality, I might have an answer. And that is, where would men that you are looking for hang out, right? Well, you know, maybe at a Spartan race, maybe at a gym, maybe at a fucking library, like a bookstore, right? Like the type of dude, like what if you walk into a bookstore, you see a dude who's jacked, who's also intellectual and reading? Because I also know that women aren't just looking for someone who's jacked and masculine but has no fucking brains. You're probably looking for some brains too, right? Like there's a lot of places, like you can find them in church. Like the unfortunate thing is just it's a needle in the haystack now. That's the problem. You're looking for a needle in the haystack. But on the flip side of it, men as well, when they're trying to find a traditional woman, right? They're also looking for a needle in the haystack because as men stopped, I know a woman who is engaged to a man. Her man lost his job, so has been staying at home playing video games. She's got 2 jobs and is paying rent. When that dude's friend found him a job, he worked it for a couple months and then quit because he didn't like the type of work that his friend got him. And this woman keeps complaining that her fiance is just riding the couch playing video games. Now, how could she get wet for him at night? She can't. There's no way she's going to get aroused by him. Here's the thing about this dude. He's fit. He works out. He makes that a priority. But he's got no priority. He's lost his will to earn. And a man needs to go out and kill and hunt and earn. Like our modern day version of hunting and killing and bringing the saber-toothed tiger home for the woman to fucking clean it and cook it is for us to go and earn money and bring it home and make her feel like, hey, baby, I got you. However, because I got you, here's my expectations that I have of you. And that's the traditional roles. So when women are like, hey, man, this guy's not doing his traditional role, why the fuck do I have to be a traditional role? I wouldn't be surprised if this chick starts a fucking OnlyFans as her 3rd job. You know what I mean? What else is she going to do? And that's the unfortunate thing is that it's become a needle in the haystack on both playing fields. And all that needs to happen is men need to step up and embrace their masculinity. Like, get after it. Be resilient. Be tough. Be rough and tumble. Be a savage servant. There's nothing wrong with that. They've told us that it's wrong to be a man. They told us that it's wrong to be ambitious. It's told us that it's wrong to be driven. They told us it's wrong to be resilient. They told us it's wrong to want to acquire money and possessions and cars and houses. No, it's not, motherfucker, because it was those houses that I sold during the pandemic that helped us fund Fit Body Boot Camp, right? When we ran out of that PPP money. So good for me for having multiple houses. Good for me for having many cars. Good for me for having a lot of things that I've acquired. A king wants to acquire. He wants to build his kingdom. So every man has their desire to build their kingdom, but they've been told by the system that if you do that, well, that's toxic, and we can't have you do that. So instead, why don't you share your emotions and whine a little bit in the comment section here on YouTube.
So what do you think about, because bringing it back to a point you made a second ago, was that if men are not being feminine, men are not being masculine, then the girls are like, well, if you're not being your traditional role. Well, Lauren and I were talking about it before we started, was if a guy is not in his traditional role, like he's not being a traditional man, the woman's technically not being a traditional woman either if she's being masculine. You know what I'm saying? So how do we fix that if neither one are being traditional roles? Is basically flopped. Like, you're not a traditional woman, he's not being a traditional man. The fix obviously on the men's side is like, you need to do better. Like, we all, you step up.
Can I tell you where the fix starts?
Yeah.
The fix starts with the men.
Okay.
The fix starts with the men. Women are having to step into roles of men because men have abandoned those roles. And by the way, there's still plenty of rough and tumble men out there who are doing fucking God's work, man. And I fucking love them. Like, we just had Operation Black Site. Some of the most toughest fucking meat-eating men were there at Operation Black Site, right? So let's not think that there aren't no tough guys out there, fucking resilient men who would fucking literally, as Tim Kennedy says, one of our instructors for Operation Black Site, he says, I will wear the skin of my enemy to protect this country. Like, and he would probably skin the fucking enemy and wear his skin as a fucking suit. But all that say, men need to step up and step back into their masculinity and not be threatened about what they're seeing on social media and trying to fall in line with this new softer version of what men are. Fall back in line with being a chivalrous man. And then guess what women will do? Like, motherfucker, looks like you're doing everything that a man does. So I guess I can start falling in line with being more traditional. And the reason I say why men, because I know in the comment sections you guys are going to be like, what about women? They need to start. Women need to. Why can't they go first? Why can't they go at the same time? I'm going to tell you why, you little bitches. Because men are natural leaders.
Right.
So you must first lead yourself and be a fucking capable, confident, courageous man. And then she will be like, oh, got it. I can now be the woman that you were looking for. But until then, all a woman's mind does is, I need to survive. I need to figure out how to live. And so if you're not going to bring in the money, I'll go get a second job. I'll go get a third job. Well, I can't get a third job. I don't have any more time, but maybe I can run OnlyFans for my bedroom. She don't want to do OnlyFans. You think some bitch out there is wanting to build her Instagram account, her YouTube account, and then channel all that to an OnlyFans to show her nasty coochie to a fucking group of fucking hillbilly incompetent men who are dropping $9 a month to her? She's not fucking interested in that. She's having to do that.
Yeah.
She's having to do that because there's not a dude who can support her and give her enough confidence to go, baby girl, fall in line with what a woman's supposed to be. Because a woman does want to fall in line with what a woman wants to be. But a man must first fall in line with what a masculine man is supposed to be.